right, and away we go, everybody. Welcome to Fifi Quest. I am so happy right now. I don't even know what to tell you guys, because I'm here. I made it to Montana. I've been saying I'm going to do it for a couple weeks now, ever since quarantine came down, and now I'm here. Look at it. I mean, and there aren't even any baby animals in this shot. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if I look I'm too dark on this. I'm trying to get the light right because it's like cloudy out, and I'm also trying to not get in the rain, but I don't care because I'm so happy. By the way, if you are a listener on an audio platform right now, I highly recommend you check this episode out on YouTube because you are missing out. Oh man. I just, this whole podcast could just be me sitting here having a good time and giggling. But I'm a podcaster and a comedian, and I'm not an influencer, so I'm not gonna dick around on you like that, everybody. Oh wow. And you guys you can't even see the baby animals, There's a whole, if you don't follow me on any of the social media platforms yet, I highly recommend you do, because it's all going to be, like, goats, and I'm waving to my friend inside. I hope he comes out. Oh, he can't hear me, but if he wants to come out and be on this podcast, that would be great. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm on a farm with 11 baby goats and a couple cows and a bunch of dogs, and this is how pretty it is. Oh, jeez, what are you turning off on me? Oh, it's going to do with that the whole time, is it? No matter to Fief. We are still recording here. Yep, we are. Well, you know what? I'm just going to be doing this every now and then, because I didn't plug it in, and I don't care. If you're watching on audio, what you didn't see was my screen going dark because I'm doing this on my computer remote. So, I guess I should explain a little bit where I am. I'm in the town of Bozeman, Montana, where I went to college, and it's kind of a Boulder, Colorado, Austin, Texas kind of place. It's a real liberal bastion in the middle of, a kind of a red place, but it's so beautiful. And, yeah, as you know, LA is not the most fun place in the world right now. There's just, so I decided to just wait it out here for a bit, And, yeah, I got my winter coat on, because my cold California bones can't handle 47-degree weather anymore. That's another thing. It's 47 degrees in late June. That's crazy. You never know what's going to happen out here. I do hope the snow melts now, because there's a hiking trail that I really wanted to go on. But it's like, it's around this little reservoir is where it starts. It's called Highlight Reservoir. It's frozen still. Can you believe it? By the way, I love that, I would love the idea that, maybe there's people listening who, maybe live in LA or something, and they have no idea what I'm talking about, and I'm, just reading, a farmer's almanac to you or something, but I don't care. So, yeah, I think, the reason that I love this place so much is, I think this is the place where I first learned how to be happy. This is where I started to learn how to be happy. And, when I was a little boy, I grew up in eastern South Dakota, and my dad always liked skiing and snowboarding, and he got the rest of the family into that. And what he and I would do when I was in high school is on, say, 3-day weekends and stuff, we would go and we would take off and we would drive up here to Bozeman, because there's lots of fun skiing up here, and you could drive there from South Dakota. It's about a 10-hour drive. Um, waving at my buddy again. Yeah, so we would do that. And by the way, as a result of driving back and forth and like when I was in college here going back and forth all the time, I am the queen of long distance driving. It was maybe it's like a 17-hour drive to get up here from LA and I don't care. I am happy as a pig in slop going all the way up here cuz it's so pretty. You know, you go through Vegas and you get to see gas stations with giant ceramic ice cream cones and cute little towns and get to go through. I stopped in a town called Beaver, Utah, and had the worst Mexican meal I've ever had in my life. It was like, but Californians, I'm going to give you a warning. If you're ever going east of Nevada and you stop at a Mexican place, don't eat there if there are white people involved at all. Okay? Don't do it. Even if they're like, okay, there are Hispanic people in the kitchen, this has got to be good. If there are white people in your Mexican restaurant, east of Nevada, run, because you're about to eat the shittiest meal. I swear to God, I had like, it was like a red tortilla wrap. Like, I guess they seared it. I didn't taste any of that. I tasted red. It's like they painted on the grill marks. And I swear to God, it had like cold, shredded lunch meat chicken inside. And that was my chicken burrito. You know, but that's what I get. That's what I get. You know, for... Look, I'm from California. I ought to know better. That's what I get for eating, driving uptown and eating a Mormon-ass burrito. But, yeah, so I digress. What I was saying was, oh, well, hold that thought. I have a glass of water right out of frame. I'm gonna walk over and get it. You enjoy the view for 10 seconds. Ah! Oh, I dropped my mic. That's bad audio. That's bad podcasting. Fuck that. This is great podcasting. You're not gonna get this in a studio full of tchotchkes and bongs like you get in LA. So yeah, and whenever my dad and I would come here, we'd have a good time skiing. And I always really loved the town because they had cute little restaurants and it just seemed funky and, it just seemed so much cooler than South Dakota, which is not setting the bar real high. But that was, I think, because, like, when I was in South Dakota, the internet did not exist, kind of like it currently does, and, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, the internet didn't really exist as it currently does, so I guess I just want to make sure my mic is still on. 1 second. Yep, we're good. Yeah, what I was saying, the internet didn't exist as it currently is, so I didn't really get a lot of the outside world, And that seems crazy to say now because everyone's so plugged into everything all the time. But, yeah, I just kind of, things like, say, doing stand-up comedy for a living or, like, doing cool stuff, I always just was like, I guess just living a cool life was like, well, that's what people far away do. Going into show business or doing cute, quirky things, that's for the cool people who live far away, but that's not for us. We have to stay here and, maybe you could get a good job, you could be a doctor or something and make a lot of money, and that's just kind of what life is. And life felt very inaccessible to me. I didn't have a lot of like, hey, I could go out and do that. But when we started coming here, and this isn't a big place, I started realizing, like, wow, this is so cool, and the people are so cool, and everything's so funky, and like there's stoners everywhere, and people are just ski bums for a living. They just work and they go skiing, and that's what's up, and they go do fun stuff in the mountains in the summertime, and that's what life could be, and I still, as you know, a lot of Fifi Quest is about my journey to learn that I'm worthy of the bigger good things in life. Bigger good. That's some 1984 ass language, but you feel me. And so, I ended up going to school in Omaha, Nebraska, which, by the way, Omaha is a cooler place than you think. It, when I went there, this was the mid-2000s. This was when emo was really popular, and emo all started in Omaha, so the music scene was really popping. And some of those little towns in like the middle of nowhere are a lot cooler than you think. Oh boy, I hope I don't get rained on here. I don't care. So anyway, and that I realized I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do film or comedy. Maybe I could get an English major and be a writer. For a long time, that's like what I thought I would be, and to make a long story short, I just realized it was at this time we had a family friend, who, his daughter went to school here in Montana, and they had a great film school here, and, when I kind of realized, Bozeman is a really good film school, and that could be a lot of fun, but I was still like, yeah, but, just feeling like I'm not worthy, a lot of internal resistance. Thinking like, yeah, but I could just stay here, and I could, I wasn't really mixed up in a great group of friends in Nebraska, which, in retrospect had way more to do with me than anything, because another thing I've talked about on this podcast was focusing all my attention on an area of life that wasn't good for me. Meanwhile, like over here, there's all this love over here, and hey, Fifi, join us over here, we love you, and I was like, yeah, hey, that's great, and I can spend a crumb of time over here, but I gotta always focus on here. I had it so drilled in my mind, I have to always regard places that are bad for me. And in retrospect, I don't think I ever really had to do that. I could say, well, yeah, I was in South Dakota and it was so small, what could I do? But like, I couldn't have done it differently in that I didn't know better. But it was possible. So that was the defense mechanism I had. In retrospect, I'm not sure if I could ever say that it worked. But I started talking to people, and thankfully some people checked me on that, like, yeah, but I could get an English major, and I could take screenwriting classes in our little BS screenwriting program here in this mainly medical school I was going to. And someone checked me and said, like, well, I don't know, why don't you go to film school? And then I transferred, and I did, and, then I moved here and ended up living with the guy whose farm I'm currently staying at. We all lived in a little house at the time, and, those were some rough years for me in a lot of ways. Still was living as a boy, which is miserable. I can't tell you how euphoric I've been just living as a girl lately. But, and I had a lot of addiction problems going on at the time, but there was always this, like, stream of joy running parallel to my life, and, like, while I wasn't really floating in it or swimming on it, it's like I could tell it was there. So even now, like, that was some of my worst mental health years of my life. I still look back at that time really, really fondly, So, And now I'm here. And now I'm back again on a vacation, and I'm back here as Fifi, and I'm back here as the real me. And it feels so good. I'm enabled to feel joy, and now I can feel all that joy that was just swimming around me all the time, and I knew I was there, and now I can just dive headfirst into it, everybody. And that's what it is. And you know what? I'm really at a point now where if someone offered me a job, like, I might take it and stay. You never know. Like, I love a lot of I love my friends in LA, and I love the group I get to be a part of, and I love goofing around and doing fun comedy stuff, and, expressing myself creatively. It's not a thing I have to try to do. It's just a thing I just do. So, in a lot of ways, that's the right place for me, but I tell you what, look, LA is just not fun right now. Everything's closed. Everything I like about it, except for the outdoorsy stuff, it's all shut down. So it's been wearing on me for a long time. I think it's been wearing on all of us, here in the world. But sometimes when, like, I really need a vacation, and we all need to get out sometimes I'm like, sometimes I get out into the world and have a vacation, and I start feeling really joyful, especially in a place that feels like home, like here. And sometimes it makes me think, like, this is where I really should be. And if I'm in a place I was been so long, and I feel so joyful to leave, where should I really be in life, and what should I be doing? And it makes me wonder what God wants me to do. But I know, like, God brought me here, so I know God has my back. That's something I know for sure. And it's not like what's going on in California right now is my regular life. It's this weird half lockdown. We're open, we're closed. Duck season, rabbit season kind of life. So it's can't really grade it up against that. And but I feel really hopeful, and I feel really joyful. You guys, I'm not stuck in my little apartment anymore. I'm not doing social distance hangouts. I can hug people and play with their dogs, and we're all cooking dinner together and making such lovely food with fresh vegetables, and it feels really great to be here. And I'm at a point now where I'm really not only learning how to do, but learning that I'm worthy of this amount of joy all the time. So if, like, and then maybe that's tied to a place, maybe that's tied to a spiritual state, maybe that's just tied to a way of being. Maybe once I transition further along, maybe that's just where everywhere will be, and but I'm not not gonna worry about the future too much right now. I'm just gonna really be here because I love here. And I love my life. And, I love that I can finally be joyful. I love that I can accept love from others, and I had so many wonderful little moments coming up here. Like, if you go on my Instagram, there's this video where I'm standing by this river, and it's this river we always used to go inner tubing on when we were in college, and it was the most fun. It's like a lazy river, but it's the most beautiful backdrop you've ever seen, and it just made me so happy, and I was so stoked to be there, and that. But, like, even with that and all that joy, even that felt like a very private moment with me, and it's difficult for me to feel like it's safe to feel that amount of joy and that vulnerable and be that open-hearted around other people, and it's hard for me to know if that's safe sometimes. And that's why I'm glad I'm here with my dear friends, because I really think that's something I'm going to work on while I'm here, and I know I can do it, and I know God will help me, and I know what to do, and and we're just here growing strawberries. That's what we're doing. That's what they do. They grow strawberries. I'll show you some videos later. I'm going to be taking so many videos. So look at me. Hey, if you don't follow me on Instagram or anything like that, I suggest doing it, because I'm going to take so many cute videos. And it's just so wonderful. Life is so wonderful. So now I'm here. Gosh, well, that's about 23 minutes of crying. I could do some funny shit. You know what I've heard lately? Something I gotta do, and I'm gonna do today. I gotta get some bear mace. Because, by the way, I don't know if you guys know what bear mace is, but it's what it sounds like. It's mace for bears. And, it's no joke, because apparently people have been telling me that with coronavirus there have been fewer people up in the hills, so the bears are like, hey, all the people are gone, we can go everywhere, and then the people came back. So there have been some incidents. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna stock up on that before I go. By the way, I'm gonna to let you know the kind of place Montana is. I have no reservations at all about walking around town as a trans woman, and looking like I look right now and being relatively early on. I got no reservations about that, but I got a sticker on my car that says Toyota of Hollywood, and I'm taking that the fuck off. That's gonna get a bitch hate crimed. They hate Californians out here so much. Oh boy, I could come out here and be like, Fifi, you get some homegrown, grass-fed organic estrogen. You don't get that LA Kaiser Permanente show business crap. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some good transgendered fun here in the Big Sky State. I'm gonna walk into a gun store and just say shit like, ask me, a man has a right to defend his vagina. You know, and yeah, you know, guys, I guess I just don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot to, I don't have a lot of funny stuff to say right now. I think I got a lot of valuable stuff and vulnerable stuff and some good creative outlet, but I don't know if I have a lot of goofing around stuff right now. I went full Gatsby. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I'll share another beautiful thing that happened to me. I got here probably around 7:30 last night, and my friends, they were off in a field far away, and they were just wrapping up, they were covering their strawberries with some netting so they don't blow away in some wind they've had. And one of their dogs is about 12, 13 years old, and she's this dog that used to live with us when we all lived together back here in the 2000s in college. Her name is June, and she's this border collie who's going blind. And I saw her through the fence, and she saw me and didn't bark at me. And I went right up and let her smell my hand, and she just looked right at me, and I was like, yeah, I remember you too. I remember you too, old lady. Yeah. So, I was gonna go into like all this cute stuff about, what's going on here at the farm and, what they do and how they do it, but I just got, wrapped up talking about being happy. So, I just wanted to say I really appreciate you guys listening to this podcast. It's been a big deal for me. It brings a lot of joy into my life. It's like a weekly act of like being it's like a weekly vulnerability check, and really like sharing this stuff with you guys. I hope it's helpful. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Sky Casper, who had me on a Zoom show when I was literally driving up here yesterday. I was doing some Zoom comedy, like deep in the forests of rural Idaho, like trying to like get reception to get enough to do a Zoom show, and I'm like trying to like do jokes, and like I'm cutting out right at the I was told that I was ending on like a final joke, and I like built up, and I'm about to be like, and then this happened, and I just cut out. And then, like, I came back in, I'm like, that's my time, everybody. Which is funnier than any joke I could do. You know what, this feels like a full episode to me. I'm sure I'll have more. I will probably record one in the next couple of days, just because I want to get as many in as I can while I'm here, because why not, But, thanks for listening to Fifi Quest. If you guys could subscribe, and if you like the show and you want it to keep going and get bigger, if you could, please subscribe on YouTube and on Apple and all those things. And if you guys would want to leave a review and share it around the social medias, that'd be great. And as always, if you want to email fifiquestpodcast@gmail.com, that's FIFIQUEST@gmail.com, I will absolutely read your email. So, Yeah, I'll maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll do next time. Maybe I'll do an episode on my iPhone where I'm just kind of like walking around the farm and looking at the different things, and maybe we could go into their greenhouse, and maybe we could do like a how it works of organic farming slash Fifi Quest episode. That'd be fun. I love that kind of stuff. So anyway, I love you all a whole bunch. I'm having a great time, and that's it for Fifi Quest this week. Bye, everybody.